Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, and I'm here again today for another terrific Tuesday video of the week. And today I'm going to focus on a technique called the herringbone technique, and I'm going to demonstrate for you how to make this technique on this card right here. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to show you how I did that, and there's different ways you can do it with different sizes of paper, but I'm going to actually show you how I did it with scraps of paper that are 1/4 of an inch long. And first, before I get started on the technique, I want to tell you the products that I used on this card. So I actually went back to the annual Stampin' Up! Catalog to find some paper that I haven't used in a while that I had lots of scraps of. And what I focused on was I used let me bring my catalog in here. I used the Affectionately Yours Designer Series Space paper, and I had different scraps of it. So the three that I'm using on my card are going to be this pretty green. This is actually mint macaron. And then I'm going to be using this strip that has some watermelon wonder in it. And then I'm also going to be using the back side of the mint macaron, and that has some of the watermelon wonder and night of navy in it. So those are the three strips that I'm going to be using, or three colors. And what I did is I cut about 9 of each of these strips of the 3 different colors to use on my card today. And those are just cut a 12-inch piece, and they're cut into 1/4 inch strips. So that's what the first thing you're going to need to do is to cut some scrap paper. And you can, again, mix and match this, and you can pick different colors that you already have that maybe you're just laying around in a scrap bin somewhere. Really good use of scraps, and a really neat wow technique that your customers are going to love, or whoever you send this card to is going to love. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper because we're going to be using a lot of adhesive, and I don't want to make a mess everywhere. So I am starting with a piece of white cardstock, and this cardstock is cut to 5 by 3 3/4. And what you're going to want to do to begin with is you're going to want to put adhesive over this entire piece of cardstock. Now you could easily do that with, if you had like a Xyron machine, you could easily do that through that. I'm going to actually use our Stampin' Up! Fast Fuse, and I'm just going to make sure I put this very generously on this card because we have to stick all that paper onto it. So bear with me here as I apply lots of adhesive. I know normally we tell everybody you don't need that much, but on this technique you really do. It's going to stick a little bit, and that's okay. That's why I got the scrap underneath of it. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I want to make sure I get adhesive on all of those corners. So that is why I'm sticky. So that is why I'm making sure I got lots of adhesive on it. Okay, so I think I'm pretty good. It's sticking everywhere. You can kind of see I got lots of adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and turn this piece of paper over just so that I can use it again. So what I'm going to do to start this card with, so I'm going to actually lay that down here. Bear with me here as I position it where it needs to be so you can watch me. So you're going to start with one of the colors of the strips. I started my card with the mint macaron, and you're going to kind of go perpendicular. You don't want to go from corner to corner. You kind of want to offset it a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that down. And then using the exact same color, I'm going to go again. What I want to do is make 4 quadrants, and you don't want them to be all the same. Let me bring my sample back in here. You can kind of see that it's got different quadrants, but they're not all the same spacing. And so that's the technique that you have to go for when you're doing this card. So I'm going to go ahead now and lay this one here, like so. And I'm going to eventually cut those strips off, but for right now, because this is so sticky, I don't want to have to pick it up as many times as I don't have to because it sticks to my fingers so bad. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this one. And again, you don't want any white space to show, so you want to make sure that you get that really good on there. Okay, so there's kind of how I'm going to be starting. Then you're going to take your next color. My next color that I'm going to use is the color that has the watermelon wonder in it. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put that right up to that piece of paper, bring it down, and I'm going to glue that down good. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And again, you want to make sure you don't have much white showing at all. If you have a little bit, it's not the end of the world, because I do on my sample have a little bit. And it's really hard to see because the technique just is beautiful and overpowers it, so you really can't see the white showing. So I did it on this triangle. Now I'm going to do it on this space right here. So make sure I get that over. Whoops. And again, my mistake almost there. You want to get that nice and tight. And I'm going to find another one of those, and I'm going to go on the other side here. So I'm hoping you can kind of see the technique of what I'm doing here, and by putting these strips on, what it's kind of, how it gives you that kind of pattern. Now I'm going to move on to this one right here, and I'm going to do the same thing, going right up next to that green one. So basically you're just filling in these triangles that you created, and the whole key is to that first piece you put down that you have to have it not even on the paper, or else the technique's not going to work for you. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to walk you through a couple more of these. I know you're probably like going, oh, this is going to take forever, but I want to at least lay down the first 3 different patterns so that you can see them, and then you're just going to repeat them. So there's that. Now I'm going to do the blue, and I'm going to do the blue here. And again, I'm going to eventually cut these off and reuse them, but it's easier to get some of these laid down so when you pick it up, you have something to hang on to other than the sticky part. So I can actually pick it up by the center here and not get my fingers all sticky from that fast fuse. So I'm putting that one there. And I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to be posting a video a week on Tuesdays, and I'm calling them my Terrific Tuesdays. And I'm also going to be giving something away for anybody who comments on my video during the next week. Your name's going to go into a drawing, and I'm going to use an app and pick a random winner to win something off from the Stampin' Up catalog. And this week I'm going to actually give the random person who I draw a pack of rhinestones, which are really pretty and nice to use. So I encourage you to make sure you sign up to receive or sign up to get all my videos, and then also check me out at kimsbasementbunch.com. And if you actually join my mailing list, you will be getting emails whenever I post a video and all of my classes that I offer online, so that you'll never ever have to miss anything that I offer to my customers who don't live close to me. And for those of you that don't know, I live in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. So if you're local, I'd love to have you join me. And if not, I do offer classes online. So please check out my website. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to go too much farther without cutting some of this off. So right now, I have a great big X. You can kind of see all these long legs on there. But we're going to actually be able to reuse them. So I'm not going to worry about cutting too close to the end right now, because I want these, when you cut these off, you still want to be able to have a straight edge, because you need those straight edges to line up and keep going with your next one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut those all off. And again, I'll be able to reuse them, so they definitely will not go to waste. And this is a technique that you could experiment with. You could use other sizes of strips of paper. You could use them different sizes. You could do some that are all, some 1/4 inch, some 1/2 inch. So you can really experiment with this. But I'm not going to take the time to really go too much further into showing you how you finish it, because I think that you kind of can get the idea that you basically just keep on going. When you get to the end, like right here, I'm going to bring that in so you can see, you just add a little piece of paper to it, and it just covers it up. And so same on this end right here. I ended with one of those colors. So you just keep on going until you're all done with the card. And because that technique is so pretty, I really didn't want to cover it up too much, so I just thought a simple greeting on that card is all that it really needed, all it really warranted. And I used the coordinating stamp set that goes with the Affectionately Yours paper. It's called Love and Affection, and I used the saying that says, "You are every lovely word I could possibly think of." And I have a friend who's been helping me and doing a lot for me with my business and trying to make sure I'm up and have all my classes ready and prepared. And so this is actually going to be a card that I'm going to give to her. I think that she will love it. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this technique. And again, make sure you subscribe to my video so you don't miss out on any of my awesome techniques or other cards that I will be showing you. And make sure you also join my mailing list. If you go to kimsbasementbunch.com and click join my mailing list, you will receive all kinds of information on different classes and events that I offer. Thanks for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoyed this new simple herringbone technique. Bye.